lots of bleach. That's the key to hide up all DNA evidence. And then disposing of the body, well, you got different options. You can chop them up into pieces. Acid works too. You've ever seen breaking? Oh, we're starting. Crap. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Gentleman's Podcast. My name is Scott, and I'm here with my co-host, Ace. And today we have two awesome guests with us. We have Sector and Chase. Guys, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming.
No problem, man. No problem. How's it going?
Going good. Chase, how you doing over there? He's doing laundry.
He's doing laundry.
We got an awesome...
Oh, he's here. Chase is here.
Chase, thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking time to make sure your laundry's done as well. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
All right, so we got an awesome podcast for you guys today. We got an awesome list of topics to talk about, and I think we should just hit it hard and work our way right down the list. And the first thing I would like to talk about is the big game tomorrow. Everyone knows Patriots are going to win, but I'd like to hear
just to clarify something real quick. This will be going up on Sunday, so technically it's big game today. Just want to throw it out there.
Okay.
If you're gonna say anything for Sunday, it's just say it is today because that's how it's going up. But we have the big game tomorrow. Sorry to cut off and everything, but obviously, if you guys saw the first podcast, we had a camera, but instead of working with Skype and having blurry connections and maybe even connections dropping out, we are on Discord, and that way you can just get all four of us. But we have pretty pictures for you guys to look at.
All right. First off, my money is on the Patriots to win, and only because I'm a Patriots fan and I love them to death. But also, ESPN does the simulation every year, and what they do is they have all these data crunchers sit down and they get all these statistics from individual players, how the teams have been performing, and they put it into the simulation, and it spits out a score and who's going to win. And it's only been wrong once in the last 8 years or so that they've been doing it. And it's predicted that the Patriots are going to win by a touchdown and maybe a couple extra points. Now that is really awesome, but that's also kind of scary because, you know, this is a computer doing the simulation, and doesn't really account for that human error, and that's only a touchdown lead for the Patriots. So it should be very interesting to see if, you know, someone, you know, fumbles a ball or whatever, and how the game's going to be very close, I think. But my money's still on the Patriots.
So yeah, even though with all that computer generated, you're going to go with it being a close game, but the Patriots still pull through.
Yeah, that's going to be my guess. Because Tom Brady, we believe, he's going to carry us.
Okay. All right, so who's next? We'll send it to Chase or Sector. Who wants to take a hold of the question?
I'm going with the Patriots on this one. You know, I'm from Detroit, but Brady came out of Michigan. I have to go with the man Brady.
Oh yeah, my man.
What do you think, though? What do you think? Close game or a blowout, kind of like the Broncos?
Oh God.
It only depends if they can contain Julio Jones and Devontae Freeman. If they can contain both of those guys and force Matt Ryan to use everyone else, they'll beat them blowout. But if not, close game, maybe.
All right, I like it. Chase, what about you?
I'm a closet Patriots fan in my family.
Did he say closet?
Yeah, cause my family's huge on Dallas, and I've always been a Patriots fan just because, like, I don't know, when I went to Boston, I, like, loved the whole atmosphere of the whole place and got to see a Patriots game there. So, like, I've been one since I was, like, 10, but I'm not allowed to say it around my family.
Okay. I've never heard that term before, so I was just a little nervous there for a sec for you.
Hey, I'm also a Marine, so you never know. It's a new corps. It's a new Marine Corps.
I think an interesting thing to see, though, is that the Patriots, and they've shown it throughout the season, is that they're really a second-half team, where in the beginning of the game, the first half, it doesn't matter if they're way behind or not, it's just the point where it's going to show who's going to actually be the victor and what the good plays are going to be doing is going to be the second half, because that's what the Patriots do. They tend to hang back a little bit in the first half to kind of see what the other team's doing, and then when they come out of that tunnel after the first half, after halftime, it's usually, they just take off and they're gone. There's no stopping them.
Yeah, that's true. It's good to see, but it could maybe backfire if you think about it. Like, if the Falcons have like a strong start out performance, it could be too much for them. But like, I still have my money obviously on the Patriots. I've always been a Patriots fan, but I don't think it'll be another blowout. I don't think we'll see another blowout for a Super Bowl in general for maybe a few years. Like, even the time when it was the Broncos, right? That got the so nobody even thought about that. Nobody was like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be an easy win. Like, nobody thought about that. That was just crazy to see. So I highly doubt that we'll see a blowout, but I think it'll definitely be a good game.
I think it'll show too is because they're both kind of really evenly matched teams, that I think it's going to come down to who gets a penalty, who makes the first mistake, and that's going to be like it's such a closely balanced game that first mistake, whoever gets that first penalty, that 10-yard, 5-yard, whatever, it's going to just tip the scale to the direction of whatever team is not getting those penalties. I think that's what's going to decide who wins the game.
Yeah.
And a lot of it goes down on who's gonna step up on the defensive end, especially on the line.
Yeah, exactly.
The Patriots don't give up a lot of sacks, especially to Brady. So, who exactly on the Falcons' defensive line? Who's gonna come through and dismantle that offensive line to disrupt Brady?
Yeah, that's a very good point. It's a very, very good point.
Yeah.
And Brady relaxes inside the pocket. He has no reason to rush. The offensive line has him.
He's one of the most calm quarterbacks I've ever seen. Like, I've watched games where like he even he's been sacked a couple times this season. Like, even in those situations, he is so calm, right down the field, trying to find someone. And he'll get sacked. He just gets back up, like, well, that happened. Let's just show them what we mean. Like, show them business now. Let's just do it.
Yeah, like he's a tough motherfucker too. Like,
he really.
Yeah.
But yeah,
really is.
You talk about toughness. You got to give it to him, Roethlisberger. Players in that nature that they get hit, they get back, no problem. They ready to go for the next play.
That's true, and I think the Patriots have been doing really, really well without Gronk, and I think that shows a big thing too, because Gronk was a big key player in the beginning half of the season, and when they lost Gronk, it was kind of like, shit. But I think the Patriots had that time to shine, like all those other players who have stepped up to kind of fill that void, and they've literally not let that set them back and just continue to plow through the whole season. So I think this game is going to be. It's going to be a nail biter. I think it's going to probably come down to like the last few minutes of someone's going to. Oh man, I'm actually almost not looking forward to like the anxiety of watching this nail biting game.
Well, just think about it too. It could just be like the Patriots in Seattle again, where Seattle literally was going to win the game, but instead they pass it right on the line and they didn't even score a touchdown.
Oh, that's true.
So it could be another game like that, and they have a stupid coaching. Oh yeah, it was intercepted. You're right. But like that's the thing. Like, it's so much anxiety. It's like you said. It's gonna be really nail biting. A lot of people are gonna be like right on the edge of their seats. I personally might not be able to make it to the whole thing, but we'll see.
So we're all in agreement that Patriots gonna win, but it's gonna be a really close game.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Yeah.
All right.
That's a good statement right there.
Yeah. All right. Next topic of discussion.
I was thinking the MLG event, keeping on the event.
Right. I am not too familiar in the MLG event, so I'm gonna pass this off to Ace here. Ace, why don't you take it away?
I mean, I don't think a lot of us are like too familiar about it, but what I wanted to get out there is MLG Atlanta is coming up, and obviously big teams are going to be there, and it's kind of like another thing of the Super Bowl. So who we're thinking, who are the top picks, who we think was going to make it all the way, who you think's going to win it. I don't know. There's some open bracket teams in there as well. So it'd be kind of cool to see if there was some open bracket guys making it up pretty far. But I don't know. If anybody wants to start it, me personally, I would love to see Optic win. I am a big Optic fan, but they've never won a major. Well, they've won a major, but like recently, any kind of major they go to, they
not in the last 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's been a few. It's been a little while for them. So I mean,
see, and so like straight up, I kind of missed that last part of like Black Ops 3, the whole like COD XP and World Champs and all that shit, because I was in boot camp. But that being said, coming back here and seeing how they've been playing recently, and it seems like they might be getting their groove back a little bit. I'm not too fond of the whole like point system that CWL has done this year.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited for this like tournament that's coming up, because I haven't been able to see like a lot of live like online play or LAN play, like any of that. And so it's like, I don't know, I'm hoping that Optic comes out at this LAN and just like shows up like the Optic that we've known them to be, and just kind of puts in work, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The other thing too is like the past, I think the first IW small like tournament they skipped. London they skipped. So they've been holding back, waiting for Atlanta, and it's kind of like, I hope they've been practicing a lot. I hope they're going to come through and stuff, but if you're going to skip these events where you can make money for your team and organization, you better come out on this big event.
Because maybe that's why they were holding off, getting ready for this one.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, think about it. I think FaZe has been coming up on top.
He's been doing work. Who else was it?
You gotta remember,
Elevate or Rise have like always been top notch.
Mm-hmm.
Rise apparently has been on the looks of it. They've been doing pretty.
I think a big factor that might play in this is that, just from me being kind of new to this whole tournament style gaming and stuff like that, but you know, when we've been playing, we've seen like we go up against some team and they'd be like, oh man, this team's like 12-0, holy crap, but we've just taken down some of those big teams because we've had better communication skills between understanding what each player likes to do in terms of their strategy in the map that we're playing or whatever like that. So I think these teams might have, whoever has the better communication between players is going to be the one that just gets that little bit of an extra edge going forward.
Yeah, and what is also like a big thing too is like we've all been pissed. We've all been like disappointed in plays by teammates or yourself, and I think as long as they have a good mentality, and it doesn't have to be Optic, it can be any team that has good mentality, good communication, and just good plays in general, good gun skills, I think they'll be going further than others, obviously. But
exactly, when we're playing Search, and it's the first to 6 wins, and we'll get 4 wins, we'll get like 4-0. We're like, oh, we're gonna sweep this team, and then we get a little too confident and they pull out a win out of nowhere, and we've completely shut down because of one win. They have to. We've been struggling with kind of learning how to just let each round be its own round, no matter what the outcome is of the last round. Just let it go and just play each round. I think that's something that these teams are going to have to do going into this bracket, that because they're all very, very, very good teams. If they lose, they have to just let it go and move on to the next one and just play. Almost, I don't want to sound like a cliche, but play in the moment and not worry about what's going to happen in the future or what happened in the past. Just play like what's happening right in front of you.
yeah,
Of course, you have to, after every round, you have to get ready for the next one. Play just like if you played your first one.
Exactly.
Yeah, take things one day at a time, one map at a time, one round at a time, like everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Next topic of discussion. Now, I'm gonna need someone to explain this to me because I don't
I got you.
know what this is. So the topic is, I'm gonna read it exactly as it's written: nudes at 1 million. So
That's right, guys. You're gonna see me nude at 1 mil.
Guys, it's under a mil.
Okay, so this has obviously been around for months. If you don't know, Zoe Berger, and then she's got some others in there. Chelsea, I'm pretty sure, and then Abigail. I'm pretty sure that's their names. But anyways, they've all been doing it. It's like it's either nudes at 1 mil or it's porn at 1 mil, and it's like, if you really want those subs that bad, like, why are you going to just release your body for those like subs when half your subs are probably like 8 to 10-year-olds? Like, it's
Yeah, but you said like,
you have a really solid point there. I mean, me personally,
after those events have happened, after they've gotten that 1 mil and then they've like done those things, they've actually retained a large amount of their like fan base necessarily, like on the videos that come after those things. I was looking it up actually because I knew this topic was coming on, and that who was it? It was like Zoe, and then there was like this other chick that just said she was gonna do porn for 1 mil.
yeah, that's the Chelsea girl, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, both of those girls, their videos before and after like the outcome, it was like 20,000, 30,000, and then for the next like month, I think Zoe had like 300,000 views per video. So like she kept a large amount of that base necessarily on that on her followers. So I thought that was kind of interesting that maybe some of those people might have come for that, but they obviously she creates enough good content to keep them there.
And I'm not trying to make it sound like it's a horrible thing. Like, you know, people do what they gotta do. They know how to promote themselves, and that's what they gotta do. Like, I'm not trying to hate on them, but it's crazy to see that that's what some people come to.
exactly. Like, it's like she's like so desperate to like get her views up, and she's trying like her idea is like, all right, you know, it'll get me all the views that I really want. I'm gonna show myself naked to the world. I just think that's I mean, I'm a guy and I like looking at naked girls as much as the next guy, but I mean, that just is like an extreme. You know what I mean? Like, that's just like, whoa, you're that desperate for attention and views that you're gonna show your, you know, naked body to the world. To like, when, like you said, most of your subscribers and viewers are probably like these middle school gamers or whatever, and they're just gonna like just fuck it, I'm gonna show my naked body to all these kids just to get more likes.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I don't know about that, but like that is a business proposition. She's at YouTube trying to make money, right? And like,
that's true.
I personally don't have a problem with it. I mean, she's using like what she has to like figure out how to make more money.
Yeah.
So,
The biggest
what you gotta do to make a living. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
The biggest thing is, though, with YouTube's terms and Twitch's terms, she's been banned multiple times. She's been banned off Twitch, and YouTube, I've seen that she's made 2 or 3 different channels. I always hear about it on Chaos on Silence, but she keeps making new channels because she keeps getting banned when she live streams because of what she does. So it's kind of like, yeah, you're making money, but you're also just gonna keep banning yourself.
yeah, that's true. I can see that. All right.
That's one of those things too. I like. If any of you guys know the porn star Mia Khalifa?
No.
So
Oh,
like,
yes, actually, yes.
She gained a huge fan base off of doing porn.
Yeah.
All of her followers now, like, she's already announced that she is no longer doing porn. She's not doing it anymore. But even after announcing that, she's retained a lot of her fan bases, and what she's doing with the fact that she has that kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Like, she has that fan, like that group of people who follow her. She's using that power she has, I guess, to do you know, like public speaking and charitable stuff. So I mean, I guess, yeah, it's not a bad business move. I guess it kind of depends on what you do with it afterwards. If she gains this huge following for showing herself, naked to the world, and then afterwards she's like, I'm not going to do this anymore, but now that I have all of your attention, like, let's do some charitable stuff. I guess it kind of whatever happens after this whole thing is like blown over will be kind of what makes me feel she did it for like the right reason or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, let's hear. What do you think, Sector? We haven't heard much from you.
Oh, I'm just listening. No, but at the end of the day, hey, she uses her body for to expose herself, and that's what she wants to do. Hey, that's what she wants to do. At the end of the day, who are we to say anything? Maybe you're right. Maybe at the end of the day, she says, okay, well, now that I got all your attention, check this out. This is what we're gonna do now.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna plant trees. We're gonna give back to the homeless. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And just like you were saying, it does make sense. She could use it for that. Maybe.
I guess only time will tell. Then we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, she could just turn around and say, "Fuck it," I'm gonna keep doing this shit no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, you got an excellent point right there.
Well, I mean,
she'll know what she's doing. If it's right or wrong, after her following starts to go down, and things just start to decrease. Once you start getting to that point, because then it's like a business. You start a business, one, selling a certain thing, then you got 5 other businesses doing the same thing.
exactly.
And after a while, it brings down the value of what you were selling.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
I guess she's just gonna ride it out and see what happens.
I mean, for her sake, if because she has a Snapchat and a lot of people hear from it, and she promotes it too. Is she held back for 1 million to do nudes, but before that, you see from everyone's just like, you've already released them, like they're on Snapchat, so it's like they promote that this is what they're gonna do for 1 million, yet they're already releasing it before. So it's like,
well, see, that's just bad business right there.
yeah.
But you know what happens?
Like,
It's still a real good people.
Essentially releasing a product for free. But that being said, I was gonna say something. It feels, I don't know if like I'm just reading this wrong, but it seems like you guys keep saying like, well, like if they're doing it for good cause, if they're like trying to promote something, like, well, me personally, like I don't really have a problem with like women doing that at all, just in general. Like, if maybe she just likes to have sex, maybe she's like, all right, well, like, I'm good at this shit, why can't I make money off of it? It's kind of like an entrepreneurial like mindset, but it seems like there's this really crazy stigma about pornography and prostitution in our culture that I don't really have a problem with, and I don't see the like issues that other people see. So like when I see this, like, I don't even necessarily need to think of like, oh, like, well, they're doing it for a good cause. It's like, all right, like, hey, she's making money, let her do it.
Yeah, so basically, like, you're saying if they're doing it because that's what they need to do to make a living, then there's no one should have a problem with it.
Yeah, like I don't think it's
I
their
got to
fault. They're, as long as they've got control of like what they're doing, like I've got no problem with how it goes out. So
it's like if you were to sell drugs to kids, that's a whole different story from some
yeah,
people.
that might be different though, because that's like dangerous. You're damaging somebody else's like, livelihood there. But like if it's you yourself, that's just like, hey, I like cock, I like sucking dick. All right, well, there you go. Like I'm not gonna like, hey, you can't do that. Like go for it. Okay, like I mean, that's not my cup of tea, but like to each their own, right? So.
Hey, you like doing this? Okay.
All right. Next topic of of this podcast is, let's talk about gym to stay fit.
Yeah,
Chase,
I mean,
I'm passing this one over to you.
Yeah, go for
Oh
it.
shit. All right, well, okay, to stay fit or to get into shape. Like
I would say to like just like to better yourself. I would say like it's not like you're trying to just sit there and get swole and like become a bodybuilder. It's more of the fact that like hey, you shouldn't just sit around. Maybe I'll do this for the day. And it's something like that. It's something to just put into your daily routine.
I feel like that's good. I'm sorry, but like I feel like that's good. Like that's a good idea. But like a lot of people see the gym as this like this mountain to climb where you gotta get into the gym, and it's like like everyone creates these excuses. And if you're just doing it to stay fit or to like get into shape, it needs to be like a like almost like a fun event where you're like looking forward to that like day of like gym day. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. Personally, like I do it because like I have to, and
Same.
I want to better myself personally. I don't necessarily need it to like stay fit. I guess I don't know. It's something for me where it's like it's this mental fortitude of like I don't know.
I mean, and we're not trying to make it sound like you need to do this. It's more of a personal preference, but with a lot of people in the new year and so on, and it's like you said, you and Scott both have to for the military. Me personally, I'm on the college lacrosse team, so I have to as well. But it's like it's there for a reason. Why not take advantage of it?
And a lot of things too is like when I go to the gym because one, I do have to. But there are some days where I like to go just because, I'm like, hey, I like the way I feel after I get a good workout in. But, I go to the gym and I see some people there, like, lack of a better term, they're quite large people that probably need to go to the gym because, let's face it. But at the same time, like, I go to the gym and I'm doing my workout and I'll see some guy there or, even a girl who's doing, like, my workout as her warm-up. And I honestly get extremely intimidated. And sometimes going to the gym, like, I'll be, like, I have, like, this huge motivation, like, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to get a good sweat on, I'm going to do hour and a half today, like, it's going to be great. And then I get there, and I'm there for, like, the first 15 minutes, and I see, like, someone off in the corner who's, like, throwing up a couple 100 pounds like it's nothing, and I instantly just lose my drive because I get kind of, like, unmotivated and just kind of a little, like, self-conscious of myself. And that's another thing, too, that I think a lot of people deal with is you see these people going to the gym and they're working hard, but there's these other people there that are kind of, I don't know, like just ruining your confidence a little bit.
I've been there before because after I got in my car accident, I can't lift as much as I used to because of my shoulder and my elbow. Mm-hmm. Man, after a while, you get discouraged. Even though you see all these other people, bust. Don't let one little thing tell you, okay, well, I got to step back a little bit. I don't want to be here anymore. You push a little more.
Yeah.
There's people out here that probably got it worse. Some people are probably in the gym. They probably have a disease in their system that working out helps them.
Exactly.
You shouldn't have let, seeing the next guy put 200-300 pounds and lifted it with no problems to your 150, 160, stop you.
Yeah.
Everybody goes at their own pace at the end of the day.
I like that. It's like that saying, it's like making fun of a fat person at the gym is like making fun of an alcoholic going to an AA meeting.
Exactly.
Like, I'll be honest, I walk into the gym and I see some people there. Like, I remember walking in, it was 2 days ago, I walked in and there was like this like really large guy. I'm not talking like he was easy like 500 pounds. Like, he was massive. And he was on this bike thing. He was pedaling. He was sweating like crazy. And I remember looking over at him, and my first thought was like, wow, good for him. Like, actually seeing that guy like work, like as big as he was, I'm like, man, it must have taken a lot of guts to walk in here and then to work out like he was. I was like, that actually gave me a confidence boost just seeing like that guy even had the confidence to come in here. And I was like, what the fuck am I bitching about? And then literally 15 minutes later, I'm on the treadmill and I'm like sweating my ass off. And then this other guy starts just doing, this huge guy like built just starts working out. I'm like, fuck, there goes my confidence again.
That's the thing. You got, by that point, you should be like, all right, he's at a different stage than I'm in. He's in a different stage than I'm in. But if that big guy has enough balls to get up there and do his workout and be happy about, him working out, you shouldn't let that take that, you shouldn't let nobody take that today, you're your own person.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you feel like, damn, I really want to get fit, you get fit on your own terms, at your own level. You can't work at everybody else's pace.
That's true. A lot of people. What was it like? There was this article that was out that was saying that, so like like the it body that everyone wants, like the rock hard like everything about like
Dad bod.
the perfect body is supposed to be. Would you say?
Dad bod.
Dad bod, yeah. Dude, I got that covered. No, I'm talking like people who like want to look like Channing Tatum or any of those other like it guys in Hollywood that have like the rockin' body. They did a study and like, in order to have that physique, it actually does come down to your genealogy of like who you are as a person, like your genetic makeup. And only about 5% of the population in the country, like in America, actually has the necessary genes to sustain a body like that. Because it does come down to genetics in terms of like, depending on where your heritage is from, that you might be a type of person that naturally your body just kind of retains a little extra fat because of where you might come from around the world. And I thought that was very interesting, and I think just me personally, I was like, man, I would love to look like that, but as hard as I do work out, maybe I just might never look like that, and I'm okay with that, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to stop trying anyway.
And to kind of jump in on that, what you were just saying about how like it's that heritage thing, like yeah, like I think there's like multiple like levels, or not levels, but like different like goals to obtain, because like there's like that Channing Tatum, like you said, but then there's like other people like if you look at Chuck Liddell or like Randy Couture, like they both had this thing like that my dad used to call like the ape gut. Like they were just these strong ass guys that are just like not like just pound for pound like the greatest warriors that ever existed, and they look like just beasts, right?
Yeah.
But like during combat, like when they're in there like in the like ring fighting, they always look like they got this gut on them, like they just drank like 12 pack of beers, and it's just like interesting to see that, because it is that genome, like where it's they might not look the best, but they are like at their peak physical condition, and I just always thought that was interesting.
They're kind of like when you go on those like health websites, it's like take this test to see what kind of body type you are. Because I know like me personally, like they say I'm the kind of body type that I have the frame, I've been told, to sustain a body build like Chuck Liddell, like those guys. Even though I would rather like be ripped as shit, it would probably never happen, but I know I could probably be a pretty built guy if I wanted to. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I was kind of getting at that. And then also like how you were saying that whole like confidence booster thing.
Yeah.
Like some might call it vain. I don't know, like I always like bought a shitload of mirrors, because like the more that I look at myself, like the more I'm gonna be like, all right, I need to get in the gym. Like fuck, all right, I need to get in the gym. Like Chase, go to the gym. All right, Chase, go on a run. Like fucking, I'm always like, the more that I look at myself in the mirror, the more I'm like more likely to be like, okay, like let's go work on this. And then like I actually gain confidence from that perspective, I guess. I don't know, like
that more like motivation though, instead of like confidence. Like you use your mirrors to like motivate you to get into the gym to work out.
Yeah. And it's kind of it's hard being out here in like 29 Palms when like I don't always get that, because like I'm always standing in formation and shit.
Yep.
And then I'm like, oh fuck, like I'm just gonna chill and fucking I'm gonna play some BO3 or whatever, and then like 3 hours go by and I'm like, yeah, I think I was supposed to go on a run, right? Like
yeah, I've been there. Like I come home from work and I'm like, all right, get changed, go right to the gym, get it over and done with, and I like sit down on the couch and then instantly just fall asleep because I've been up since 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I wake up and it's like 9 o'clock at night and I'm like, fuck.
yeah, that shit sucks.
All right, next topic, and this should be an interesting one. I'm gonna hand this right over to Sector though. Sector, pick it up, girl. Go.
Me? Nah, man. Come on, man.
Oh my god.
Come on, Sector. Let's hear your tricks of the trade. How do you pick up
That
girls?
shit is funny though. He just goes, man, fuck it. I'm sending it to you.
Oh man, man. Just be yourself, man.
Some tips and tricks for everyone, you know.
Oh me? Oh me? Oh no. I'm just myself, man. I just talk to them, keep it simple, nothing crazy. Don't go asking for nudes.
Wait, what is it with that that huge trend that's coming out right now?
Don't ask for nudes and don't send dick pics.
What?
What's
Don't
that?
ask for nudes and don't send dick pics. Like straight up. Like dicks are gross. Girls know they're gross. Like it's not a flattering angle at all.
Actually, stand corrected. Blue Mountain State.
Yeah.
You want to get shaft, balls, face, all in one picture, but you always want to be motivated, or something like that. That's all I know.
You gotta think about the girl and get a little fluffy. That way she knows it's for her, right? You gotta let her know that you're thinking of her.
I gotta find that clip and I'll put it in the podcast.
Oh, good lord, no. No, but like,
no, but in all seriousness, man, no news.
Just be
Keep
yourself.
it all simple. Because at the end of the day, you know, you don't want to put up a front. Then she meets you and everything goes down, and she's like, okay, well, you told me this, now it's this. You know,
Yeah.
straight up like never the answer.
Oh, of course. You always got to remember, you know, she is a human as well, and, you know, don't try to degrade anyone because that person doesn't want to do what you say or anything like that. Keep it simple, be humble.
Yeah, but don't change yourself. If if someone's expecting something else out of you, don't. It's not really worth it. But especially if it's something big. Like, oh, I don't want you to do this as work. I want you to do something like this, or I can't even think of something off the top of my head. But it's like, don't change your mentality or your focus on life for one thing.
Yeah, especially don't change your hobbies. Like if you love mountain biking or like fucking playing video games or something like that, and they like want you to stop in order for them, like straight up, put that middle finger up, walk away. Just not like you're not changing who you are, and I don't know.
Also, like on the other side of that, it's like you ever see like I was at the bar the other night because I just turned 21 this week. Go me! And I was literally like listening. I was actually having a lot of fun just sitting there, like listening to people's conversations that they were having. And there was this guy that was hitting on this chick, and he was just like, I could tell. Like I don't know if she could, because I don't really know, but you could tell he was just making up like the dumbest crap to make himself sound interesting. He's like, oh yeah, I'm in a band and we gig all the time. And I'm like, I've been to almost every venue in this area that plays bands because I love seeing live music, and you're a fucking liar. Like, that was one thing I'm like, because you were saying, like, if the girl wants you to change your hobbies, like, don't do that. And also on the other side of that, it's like, don't make up stupid hobbies to make yourself look good. Like, if some girl asks, like, hey, what do you do? Come right out and be like, oh, man, like, you know, I was a band geek in high school. I freaking love bragging about that. I love saying, like, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm in the 39th Army Band for the state of New Hampshire. Like, music is everything to me. And if they're like, oh, you're a band geek, and they walk away, I'm like, well, okay then. I'm not that interesting. But who cares? I love music. Music's my thing.
Yeah, and so like my exact like the thing that I always do is I talk about soccer because it is the love of my life, and I talk about fucking video games because like my goal in life, my end goal is to end my life like owning a studio that just like busts out dope ass video games.
That's pretty sick.
Well, what do you mean though, like about that though? Like, do you mean like creating and making new games, or do you mean like an organization?
No, like straight up like a studio that just like pumps out games. Like so like a design studio that like is just like a just like a movie studio is gonna like produce like movies, like, and a production studio is gonna like produce music and albums. Like it's a video game studio that's just gonna produce and create video games, and that's what I want to like do with my life. But my whole thing is that like I'm upfront and honest about everything, like to women, and like as long as you're sitting there and you're having a good time with yourself, and like you know that like with or without this girl's like I guess acceptance, or like, because like I used to have a huge fear of rejection,
Yeah.
and I'm no longer like that, and it's because of like my confidence building, and it's just something that's changed in me. But it's all about how you're essentially selling yourself, and as long as you believe in yourself and you love yourself, like it's easy for other people to believe in you and hop in on that train. So
I think that comes down to, as well as you were saying, is like also being confident about what you do. Is like, if you like come out and be like you're really into soccer and you're confident about that. But if you were talking to some chick and you were like, oh yeah, I play soccer, but you know it's whatever, you know, like if you came out like, I play soccer, it's love my, like if you're confident about it, she's gonna pick up on that and be like, wow, this guy's actually got something that he's confident and proud to be doing. And I think that is something that shines way better than anything else. Is if you're doing something and you love what you're doing and you're proud to do what you do, then that's better than making up some dumb shit that you do.
Of course, you don't want to come off as boring either when you talk about something. If that's your passion, then you gotta show that, yo, I am passionate about this.
That's true. What about you, Ryan? What do you do? I mean, I know you got a girlfriend, but like,
I mean, it's like you guys are all saying, as long as you're confident and shit like that, you gotta express it. Always express it, but don't don't express something that you're not 100% behind. So it's like it's like Chase was saying, that he wants to do something like to create video games and such like that. Like definitely something that I've always wanted and still will strive to is either to be like pretty big on YouTube, continue making videos with that, streaming. Like definitely streaming is a little bit more, but I mean, any of those, it's a hobby, but it'd be great to have that hobby turn into something you love and can make it work for a living. Like it'd be pretty cool to have that as your set job, because it's something that you can, if it's your job and you're able to post 5 days a week or even 7 days a week. I know most YouTubers are always doing 7 days a week streaming. If you can stream, that's literally, you can do that for 5-6 hours. There's your work day. Have a nice day. And it's different for everyone. So I mean, obviously express with the girl how you feel. I mean, shit, if something you don't like, just say it out loud. Be like, hey, listen, I'm gonna be brutally honest, but this is not gonna work. This, I don't like this, blah blah blah. It might work out, might not. You never know. Sometimes you gotta take that chance.
here's a good question. I got a good question. So, because we're on topic of picking up girls, let's say after like you go talk to some chick and whatever, what do you like? In my experience with messing around on Tinder and stuff like that, like, yeah, I'm gonna say Tinder. I am probably the weirdest guy on Tinder, because a lot of these girls are like, there are some girls on Tinder who are like looking for nothing more than just Netflix and chill. That's all they're on there to do. Me personally,
Well, then you have the Brazilian.
I'm not really looking for that, but at the same time, it's like when you ask me, like, hey, you want to like go on a date? Like, I will take you out on a date, and like I actually want to get to know you. Like, it's a complete and total like foreign language to them, and that kind of scares me. Like, and like in the society that we live in today, like going up to a girl and just being like, hey, like just getting to know her a little bit, and then being like, hey, can I take you out sometime? Like, why does that come across as creepy? Like, you know what I mean? Like I mean, I was raised to be like, you treat a girl with respect. And if you like her, you take her out, you show her a good time, and maybe you can get her to like you a little bit. But it seems like today, in society today, like that's almost a foreign concept now. I'm really curious why it is that way.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's almost everything that we always see is like all around this. Like you always hear, oh, like chivalry is dead and shit, and like I never have like ever thought of that, because like me personally, like I've always been told in my life that like every female is a teacup, and like this like fragile thing that like is beautiful and pretty and like I guess functional and like helpful, but like if you treat it poorly, like it's gonna shatter, then like no longer is gonna serve its purpose, right? And so like
Yep.
I don't know, like my whole prospect on like how I deal with like women is like I treat them to like the best of my ability, and like always always view them as like almost like higher up than I am. You know what I mean? Like I never feel like that I'm like uh a better person than them. I'm always like, oh, like what can I do? How can I serve you? Type shit. And like I don't let it get to a point where like a girl's just like stepping all over me and shit, because like that's just not who I am. But
It all comes down to being equal.
exactly.
Yeah.
They do say it's the man's house, so but you gotta remember that you can't have a house without the woman in there helping you build it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, I'm gonna go finish up my laundry. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
I think one of those things too that I saw some philosopher posted this thing, and they were saying that there's all this stuff coming out lately about how like the women's rights movement, that's a whole totally different thing, but like for someone is like there's those people who say like it's terrible to say that women can't do everything men can do, and there's this philosopher that posted this thing saying that it's true, but it's worded wrong. Like women are not like you're not supposed to say women can't do everything men can do. It's women do everything that men can't do. Like there's a reason why we have two different sexes on the planet. They're, like men are meant to do one thing, and women, like everything that a man can do, a woman will amplify it. Basically, what the article was saying. Like if you give her a house, she makes it a home for you. If you treat her right, she gives you her heart. If you give her, sperm, she gives you a family. It's everything that men can't do, women are able to do. And I think that's a very, like, you're saying, like, treat them as equals, and it's like, it's everything that you do, she amplifies, and everything that she does, you amplify. It's always a give and take, back and forth.
That's what I was going back to, being equals in the home and, well, in general. There has to be an understanding of, okay, I'll do my part, you do your part, but together we'll do ours.
I like that.
The man would do one thing, the woman do the other thing, but when it all comes down to it, you both gotta, pick at what's the other one missing to complete it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just one person too. It takes two. So like that's if for the topic of picking up like girls or something like that, it's the fact that some girls like bad boys, as they are known, or whatever you want to say, and then there's girls that like nice guys, and it's the fact that you don't. If a girl likes bad guys and you're not a bad guy kind of type, you just need to be nice. Like be yourself, and don't sugarcoat anything. Like they're gonna find out later, sooner or later. It's a known fact. Like think about it, like that women will find out everything. They have friends. Yeah. They're like FBI agents. That's what I say.
They find out.
Social media is a very large platform.
Yeah, exactly.
Or,
like
you got one of their friends added for months ago. You don't even know it.
Yeah, and that's the point too. It's almost like a business. So say it's a kind of off topic, kind of not, but think about it as you have Twitter, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Snapchat, any social media in general. If you're sitting there calling out girls, you're trash talking girls, or you're just trash talking people, family members in general, or you make yourself seem like a horrible person, or like someone that has to think twice, then you really shouldn't. You're not going to get that girl, because it's like we said, you're probably added their friends, or you have some mutual friends, and they're going to sit there and be like, hey, do you know this person? What's he about? Or they're going to see your profile, and next thing you know, they're going to be like, not talk to you. So it's like I said, it's like a business kind of thing. If you're going to go get a job, if they see that you're sitting there posting like, oh, daily sex, whatever, pot, drunk, whatever, all that BS, they're probably not going to hire you. They might ask questions.
It's like going in for an interview, basically. Like, they're going to end up stalking you a bit. And it's funny what Sector said about that, like, they have friends that you've probably been friends with for a while. Because I have a friend, she enlisted in the National Guard like I did, and she's been asking me to kind of help her out, like, get ready for boot camp. And we were working out, and she showed me the time on her phone, and I saw a picture of her with this other girl. And I was like, wait a minute, who's that girl? And because this girl has been, like, for the last, like, month liking pictures of mine, like, when I post them on Instagram and Facebook. And I'm like, I don't know her. I don't know who she is. I don't even remember, like, friend requesting her on Facebook or anything like that, or adding her on Instagram. And she goes, oh, that's my sister. And I was like, no way. Like, what a small world that is. Like, it was just one of those things I was like, oh, man, like, you have no idea, like, who knows who in this world about, like, you start talking to some person, anyone, it could be you start talking to some girl, and she, goes to her friends and says, hey, I met this guy, he's pretty cool, and they ask her what your name is, and she tells them. Suddenly, one of those friends knows who you are, and maybe some BS that you did once because you're being stupid. They're gonna give you they're gonna fill her head with this reputation that you might have if you're not careful on social media and stuff like that.
Well, not even social media. Like, you guys, I don't know. So my high school was like tons of rumors and drama and shit. And I remember there's this chick that was like super into me, and I like didn't even know her. And I come to school one day, and everyone's like, "Oh, bro, like I heard you bang this girl," and I was like, a virgin at the time, so I'm like, yeah, right. Like, I had no clue who this girl was, but like, for some reason, somehow, like either from like retweeting a like Twitter or something, like I don't know, somehow this rumor came out and that like me and this girl were dating, and like I straight up had never met her in real life. And I remember that was like super awkward because I was like talking to this girl at this time, and she's like, "Oh, so like you just like gonna go like bang this other girl?" And I was like, I don't even know who her name is. Like, it was super strange.
That's so weird. That's the biggest thing. High school, that's what people build off. They feed off that shit.
Touch that topic because, I mean, Ryan and I went to the same high school, and our high school, like, literally every day you came in and there was always some new rumor about someone.
Well, the worst part is it still goes on today. I don't know if you saw that on Facebook, Scott, but Tori and Philip. Did you see that she like commented on like saying like, wow, can't believe I actually dated him. And then like people just started out. I was like, are you serious? You're in college or you're working and you still haven't grown up? Like, come on.
I mean, saying that too, it's like I was hanging out with an old friend from high school, and I haven't seen her since like sophomore year of high school, and she like instantly assumed that me today was the same as I used to be back in high school. And I had to look her like right in the face and be like, hey, listen, like back in high school, I was like still trying to figure out who I am as a person, like who I want to be. And like that was almost like 5 years ago. Like, I mean, I'm different now. Like I'm militarized and stuff like that. Like you can't judge me for something stupid I did back in high school, because I've heard tons of rumors about you back in high school, and I'm not judging you for any of them right now. I'm just assuming like, hey, everyone does dumb shit when they're younger, and you grow up. You know what I mean? So
who was that?
Everyone second. Who? What?
Who was that?
Olivia.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, hey, yeah, I get it. I did some dumb shit back in high school, but like, I mean, everyone's trying to figure out who they are. You know what I mean? Like, I guarantee, like Ryan, you're definitely not the same guy you were back in high school.
Nope.
Like, yeah. So
no shit. Like,
rule. Real quick. So like, I've got this rule kind of thing that like, because a lot of kids, especially like in the Marine Corps, like during boot camp and combat training and all that, like I'm older than a lot of the like newly like junior Marines, and a lot of the things that like you hear is like, oh, like I don't know how to get this girl to like me, or like girls don't like me, all this shit. And like you were saying, like people change, right? Like now you guys have like your life together in like specific ways. I'm guessing like you've got a job, like you're living at your own place, or like, making money enough to like go into the dorms or go into college. Like you have a plan for your future. You take care of yourself. And so like my whole thing is like on a scale of 1 to 10, like how well do you think you have your life together? Like a 2 is like, well, I can shower for myself and like make food, but like that's about it. Like I can't do anything else. Like a 6 or 7 is like, yeah, I'm making my own money. I can like kind of understand, like I can do taxes. I might not know like how to fix a like tire or something like that, but like you can like pretty much survive, right?
Yeah.
And like I always like to make the like joke that like in high school, like yeah, I was probably like a 4 or a 5, and then like now I'm like at an 8 or a 9 of like where I'm going with my life and like how I want to do things and knowing what's going on. And like the girls that you're with in high school is like, yeah, they're at like a 2 most of the time, and then when they get into college, they're like at a 5. It's like girls don't know what the fuck they want to do, even like when they're 40. So like it's difficult. And so the whole thing of like, oh, like this girl doesn't like me, or like nice guys finish last, that whole stigma of like in high school girls don't know what the fuck they're doing, and like when they get into college they get a little bit better idea, and it helps kind of the whole like you having your life together. Girls recognize that more in college and will go after like guys that are just playing nice and like not trying to fuck girls over. And so like I just kind of wanted to like get that out there for our younger audience. Like that's not like, don't always think that like, oh, like just because I'm nice or like I'm too nice or you get friend zoned all the time, like that shit changes. Like I'm dating one of my best friends back in high school, and like for the longest time she didn't even know that I was into her, even though I swear to God I was blatantly obvious, like trying to get her to go to prom and shit, and she's
Wait, are you
whatever.
saying that you're one of the rare people that actually made it out of the friend zone?
He made it out.
He got out. Everyone,
He
applause.
got out.
Yeah, Chase got out.
He got out.
No, but Chase, to tie that into like what what Sector was saying when we first started this topic about just being open and honest about who you are with a girl. I've exactly what you're saying. I've noticed about like when I first I'm 21 years old now. I am in the military. I have a full-time job as well. I have my own apartment and I'm very independent. I live on my own. When I first did that, like I started that last year, I felt personally, I was like, wow, like I kind of felt like a loser a little bit about like being like, oh, man, like I'm still living in Laconia. I'm like living in kind of a shitty area of town. Like I didn't really like feel that good about it. But then like once I started to like kind of get out and start dating again a little bit, I've realized that like being open and honest with a girl right up front and talking about the fact that, oh yeah, I do have my own place. Oh, I live on my own. I am successful enough right now to support myself. Girls in college actually look at that as, way higher on their standards than having that awesome looking body or whatever like high school girls think that they need to have in their life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, very true.
That's the thing though. That now, once you hit that college part of your life, you get out of that little kid mentality and into that grown man mentality. Now you have to look forward to, okay, how am I gonna build my life when I go out there and start dating? Am I gonna say, like you just mentioned, I got my own place, I'm working, military. That right there is like a golden ticket for the next woman who sees that. They're gonna see you for you and see everything you accomplished and everything that you have around you.
As long as
you
you're
have
not a
that
gold
base
digger. I
settled,
don't want to date any gold diggers.
hey, once you got that base set in the sand, then slowly they'll start creeping in and start, trying to figure out who you really are and how you got there, and that can motivate the next chick you're with, and she could probably be, your wife down the road, and she would be like, oh my God, it was amazing when I first met you, and all the motivation you gave me, It's all about finding your niche, planting it in the sand, and just let everything else kind of flow towards you.
Damn it, Sector, you are one deep guy. Holy hell.
So I mean, it's like at the end of the day, you just gotta, like like I was saying before, be yourself and always be humble. Don't get too cocky. Like, yeah, I just bought my 3rd car. I got my 5th house. I got this, and that. That's how you attract gold diggers.
I think also at the end of the day, too, it's kind of like, I feel like girls more our age, like around 21 and older, aren't really looking for, like, the next relationship they're going to be in that's only going to last a week or 2 or a month. I think they're looking for more something a little more stable, and that comes down to, like, I need to find a partner. Like, I don't need to just find someone's bed to sleep in. I need to find a partner who's going to, that I can support them and they can support me. I think that's one of those things about when you say that you, like, Chase is in the Marine Corps and stuff like that, like, he's got his life on track, he's moving forward. He's someone that a girl can look at and be like, hey, this is someone that in the future will be able to support me through anything that I need and support him.
Yeah, but then at the end of the day, also, the woman has to realize, okay, if he's gonna go through all that, let me prepare myself as a woman to, make sure I can support him in a different way.
That's true. Very true.
Maybe they'll be like, okay, well, you know what? Since take a couple courses, it doesn't have to be nothing major, nothing crazy. But you know what? I'm gonna go pick up a course in accounting or something to kind of show for, while you're doing that, I'm gonna do this.
Yes. And this topic went right down the rabbit hole. We got deep.
This shit went
Holy
deep.
hell.
But
So, to bring it back in, picking up girls, the best thing you can do is just to be yourself. Don't be afraid if she's not into you, because maybe that's not what she's looking for, but just be yourself with any girl you meet.
And talk, like, be passionate about what you're talking about.
And
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, always remain humble. Never try to over flatter yourself.
True.
There you go.
No, it's always good to give yourself a nice little pat on the back. Like, yeah, I did that by myself. Yeah.
Yeah, you like that, don't you?
Reel it back. You gotta reel it back a little bit and just realize, okay, all right, that. Yeah.
All right. We kind of hit the end of our list here. Does anyone have any alibis? Anything that you want to throw into this podcast?
Nintendo Switch, 26 days.
Well,
yeah.
if that is the end of our list, boys, I think it's time to bring this to a close. What do you think?
But I mean, yeah, I thought it was over well. I mean, I thought it went really well for our second one, honestly.
So should we end this thing?
Yeah, I think it might be it for the day.
All right, everyone listening, thank you so much for tuning in to the Gentleman's Podcast. My name is Scott. With me is my co-host Ace, and I want to say a special thank you to our guests Chase and Sector. Guys, thank you for being on the podcast today, and we will catch you guys next week.